Hey everyone, Jamie Pate here, and I'm coming at you from a little bit different angle than normal. I hope that's okay. I just have been thinking a lot about story, and this week I'm going to be posting some storyline chapter stories. And a little redundant there, right? This is where I'm keeping all my family's photos. So I used to do, I have years of project life albums, which I love. The great thing about having these stories in an album like this is that you get to go back and look at them, right? You get to go back and see the photos and read the stories. So what we're gonna do today is just take some time. I'm gonna walk you through what I have so far in that album because it is just becoming such an important place for me to document all the things. You know, a lot of people I saw during the pandemic and the shelter at home that we were experiencing making separate albums. And I love the idea. I love seeing people's COVID albums for sure. I didn't make a separate album. I just kept everything in our regular family's album because to me, that was the story going on. And sometimes the days look normal and sometimes they didn't. And you're gonna kind of see that here as we walk through this album. So welcome. And I hope you hang out with me for a little bit as I talk a little bit about documenting 2020 so far. Okay, so I have turned the camera around and I just decided, what is it? This is going to be June when I post this. And so almost halfway through this year, not quite. I just thought it'd be a good time to give you guys a little bit better view of what, the total big picture of what's happening in this album. You can see it is filling up pretty good. Please check out my blog, jamiepate.com. There are quite a few posts on there of these different pages and some different techniques, just basically a closer look at what's happening here. I just wanted to provide for you a big picture of what's happening here. So let's take some time to do that. I started the book with what I call a cover page. I love in all my Project Life albums, I have started each of the albums with the picture of what we look like right now. And life is getting a little crazy with my family because not everyone's home. And this was kind of the best family picture I could get at the beginning of this year. And I'm happy for it. Don't get me wrong. Super happy. You're going to see sometimes I've tabbed my pages, not all the time. I probably should go back and maybe tab each month. That'd be a great idea. I'm keeping things actually pretty basic in here. And then I'm going to have like what I call kind of a fluff page. So let me show you how that turned out. Actually, it didn't even start in the beginning. So what I've done here, as each week of the year has a page and it looks just like this, where I've taken these about 2 by 2.5 inch photos. I printed them here at home. I've just gathered whatever I think I want to tell a story of that week. I've kept it to about 6 photos. Sometimes I have a photo underneath one of my flaps, but this is just method here, guys. I've not started to create the wheel yet. You're going to see this every time. A grid page, 6 photos, a square, a grid part telling the date, and then journaling is going to be part of that page. I continue on over here. This is week 2. You're going to see that this page does change. Okay, now this page, you're going to see I have the story on this side. Again, this is going to change. I have kind of a smaller story on this side, but still this is week 3, this is week 4. It's kind of taking some shape. It's going to evolve here a little bit. I love when that happens, right? Isn't that a great picture of my kid reading at night? I just love that so much. Okay, yes, I geek out a little bit over my family and my kids. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you right here. Yes, there's a blank page there at the end of January. This was the week where my sister was in the hospital. She had cardiac arrest. My sister is 47 years old and her heart stopped. I have not been able to tell the story yet. I'm probably actually ready to now. I've had a lot of time and been able to just get a little healthier myself. But you know what, guys? If you can't tell a story, you're not ready to do it, just leave some space. Give yourself a bit of a marker. Whatever you need to do. You don't have to put every story in there. Stories don't expire. They're going to be there. So that's what that's about. All right, we're in February now, and I'm going to do a post later on about how I use some title work to designate each page. I just really want to make sure that when I looked at this page, I knew exactly when we were. So every page is going to have the month very big on it somehow, And I'm gonna have the week of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and put the year. Yes, I am. I'm gonna show this to you close. You can see this page on my blog for sure. I know it's there for sure. And then the dates. So I start on Sunday and I go through Saturday. That's just what's comfortable for me. Some people do Monday through Sunday. That's perfect for them. And then this is where my year album really started taking shape, was right here in February. I kind of figured out what I was doing, and that's okay. I was fine with that. These pages don't all look the same. It's just, gosh, we have evolution in everything we do, right? Even in our documenting. So again, I got my six photos here. I have my journaling here. Journaling super important to me. And then on this page is what I call the story. It was just a story that I chose from the week that I wanted to do a traditional type of scrapbook page on. So that's what this page is going to be. I've had a lot of fun. I just love this size album so much. This kind of 7x9 size. I am finding it so much quicker to actually be able to get these stories told. Now we're in week 7 of February. Still February, super obvious there. And I've just had fun with some embellishments. I'm using almost exclusively storyline chapters, embellishments, and almost exclusively the scrapbook ones. There's different personas in the storyline chapter collection. There is scrapbooker, which is what I'm using for telling my year's story. There is planner, and I'm going to have a video out, I think, very soon about that. And then there is journaler. And so each of those personas come with their own type inserts. They come with their own stickers. They come with their own paper. You can mix and match. It's a beautiful thing. I kind of stay a little focused. Now this was a great page, and I believe I have a video out there on this page, but I'm going to show it to you guys here anyway because I might have just processed it. This was a fun page of my daughter getting engaged. So I blew up that photo. My teammate Kim Jeffress is really good about huge photos in her album. And so I kind of lifted her and had this large format photo added in on this page to tell this story. And then I added in my own little accordion book to add some of the photos. So I still wanted to have all in the same place. So this is one of my favoriteest pages. And February continues, more alpha stickers to show off what month, and a story here. And this has been a fun way just to play with some different sketch ideas. Sometimes I'm writing the story in, and most of the times I'm typing. I have my We Are Memory Keepers typecast right here on the side. And so that is sometimes what happens. Now here's an example of where I added in another photo. I had a photo here on top, but then a photo underneath of something else that was happening that same day. I liked how that worked out, and I've probably used that on more than one occasion. So we are traveling through February, and here is another page that you can see on my blog. And I just had a lot of fun with this interactive piece where I added in this envelope right here that has a lot of journaling on it. Another photo here, another photo here. This has journaling on it. This was just fun. You guys just have fun with your pages and just get stuff on there. Just enjoy making these pages and telling these stories and then still playing with the stuff, right? So again, a whole lot of storyline here, some stamping, some washi work, some mixed title work here using stickers plus my own handwriting, and that's how that page went. And now we're going to move into March, which is missing its M. Wow. Okay. I'm sure it's going to come up here. I'll find. So it's Arch. It was an odd month, right? For those of you who are familiar with a thing called COVID, March was quite a month. We had no idea what was going on here. I loved telling this story. This is one of my favorite stories of March. It was just my kid super excited about a project for school. He loves school. It was a great story that I got to tell there. And again, just playing with layers of paper, stamps from Storyline. This is part of some of the journaling stickers. This is actually a mink stamp that says life there, and I mixed title work again with the stickers. I gotta go find my M. March continues here, and took out some time for fun, and so that's what this was here. This is, I believe, this is from the quarantine words that Heidi made available on her HeidiSwapp shop. I think is where you can find that. So big old family cut out there, and then of course story of family. Guys, I am not recreating the wheel here. This is just more of the same. Okay, here's another great page, and I have this post really recent here on my blog that you're going to want to see. What happened here is, again, die cut letters here for March. Making sure I get my dates on there. This time I didn't hide my journaling. I just stuck them right on top. Talk about a super quick page. This really was, when you know you're just going to pick 6 pictures and you know you're going to have your date front and center, and then I just added some stamp work on some white cardstock, and that was my journaling. Okay, so this page, refer to my blog again as I go into a little more detail on this page. But this is a great way to have 2 stories on one page, right? So I added in a folded strip of vellum. So I folded that there and then glued that underneath. And so I have this real soft page, but it's still part of the whole week because this happened this week. This is when a second child of mine was engaged. And so I needed to tell that story. I needed a larger photo. I needed to have its own page. I haven't got the journaling in here yet. That's what this was about, was making sure I could still have a week on one page, and pretty happy how this page turned out. Okay, we're getting here to the end of what I have so far in my book. And this time I used a this came from the One Little Word for 2020. That's where this came from. And then I die cut that out. I've been having fun just using different title works for these pages. So I was just being creative, and what could I do different this time? Same thing, some hidden journaling. And this was the week where we received the alert that we were to shelter at home. And so that story and everything that goes with that is right there. And I'm so thankful I have all this all in one place. And what I did here, and this is all that this book holds for now. I'm getting ready to start April next. I did this little timeline. I love how this turned out. I didn't try to be completely comprehensive, but this definitely, when I go back in a couple years from now and I look through this album and I come to this COVID-19, these definitely are words from Heidi's quarantine cut file package. And then I added in art, walk, letters, numbers here for the dates. So I just like a little bit of a timeline of what was going on. This is going to be priceless to me, you guys, in the future. And here's a little cutaway page. So you kind of see in the next page here after this, and I might put something there. I haven't got this page yet. And just like in my planner, guys, I mark out on my pages what weeks are going to go in there, just in case I decide to go start someplace else. I still have given myself room to make that page happen. Just like this. I went ahead and popped into Mother's Day here in May and added this page in, and I think this is actually it. And so you're going to see when this comes to completion, here's the story of the week, right? And over here, I'm going to be added in my grid for that week's story. So that is a look at this 2020 storyline chapters insert. And now you got a look at the big picture, how all these pages are coming together, and they are making such an impactful way to document our life and our stories, big or small, doesn't matter. Just get your story told, you guys. That's why I wanted to share this video with you. That's what I hope you take away from this today. Tell your story, document your life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that if you don't subscribe already, that you will. So just punch that subscribe button for me. I have listed the supplies down below, so click through that to pick this up, and I hope you were inspired to tell your story.